YouTube to another edition of our XJ camper build. And I know that there's been some of you that may be brand new to our channel and all. Appreciate y'all coming out and all. Let me explain a little bit what we have going on here today. I've got an XJ Cherokee that I've enjoyed having, and all my son has one too. Well, I decided to build a little pull behind camper. Now, I work better with metal than a lot of other materials and all, because that's what I've done all my life. But what we have here is an old XJ Cherokee, Jeep Cherokee XJ rear here. Old rear frame system right here. And then I took another one, a rear clip, quarter clip here of a tailgate, swung it around and welded it to it and married the two together, built the frame system and everything, flip-flop door panels in here and all. And those are on our previous videos, so please check out those previous videos and get a look at them. And so we got this thing together now. I've got brakes, I got an axle, I got my front tongue. Everything's just about ready. So now it's time to start working on the interior of it. And so one thing that I wanted this to have is a little kitchenette off the back. Tailgate raised up, a little bit kitchenette. One thing I was a must for is that I wanted water system on it. And I didn't want the water system to be this, okay? I didn't want that. I wanted regular water on board with an electric pump, because I've got a battery storage in this thing, and I want a regular electric pump the water up to a regular faucet, okay, to use off the bat. So we're going to get into detail about that today and not hold you up. All right, here we are at the back of the Cherokee, and on some of the previous videos it showed the rear here was cut out and all. Well, I had some rust spots in the back here, a few of them. The old underneath with the old frameworks and all that I wasn't going to use. The other videos show that. And also, people were asking me about, hey, using the old existing fuel tank as a water storage. Well, if you want to drink out of a old fuel tank, that's up to you. Me personally, I wanted a regular tank in there. So in order to maximize the space up underneath there, I had cut out the old rusty pieces of floorboard and I welded in some brand new panels. Now right here is where I used a bead roller to make my panels and welded into fresh brand new panels, you know. And and then right here I have a little trap here that will little access cover right there, and you see inside there's wires. One of the previous videos we had, we were talking about our tail lights and all, and how our wires come. Here's my battery box. Well, that right there works as a conduit right there to feed wires all the way down through here. So that's what that's for. It feeds it in here also. So that's how we have that right there. So I have that little access door there. So now I'm going to show you underneath it. Okay, here's our regular floater axle. Where we talked about the Dodge Caravan, you see how type of axle, and you see how we're up above our battery box there. Well, here's the area that we'll be using to put our water tanks up in. See, I got my angle iron here. I got studs hanging down. I've got 8 studs, 3/8 studs hanging down that are going to support my cage, my cradle, to hold this these water tanks. Right here is a little collar that the original XJ would have had. It would have only been about 4 inches wide right there for the fuel hose to run through and connect to the fuel tank itself. Well, I needed more room, so I popped this collar out. It took a little while to get it all out of there, but then I opened it up on this end so that now I have plenty of access that I can utilize my regular water inlet right here use it to go up through this original fuel fill neck area. And then I use my original fuel lid cap as an access door to fill up the water tanks. So we're going to get into showing you the water tanks now. All right, right here we have a bead roller. All right, and that's what I used on the floorboards. If you're gonna wind up doing any kind of floorboard repair, I would highly recommend finding one of these old bead rollers. You usually can find these old bead rollers on Craigslist and different places. Not too much, but man, it makes a world of difference when you're doing floorboards. Just like my panels there, I didn't hardly have anything in this thing. Run those panels through it, stiffen them up, maybe some real nice panels. So I just highly recommend having a bead roller if you're going to do floor. Now, onto the cage. Our tank cage here, or frame, or cradle, whatever you want to call it, is basically made out of old second-hand old angler. Okay, and you know, this has been a budget build, and I've been trying to keep money out of it. Well, I utilized this. Went ahead and built me up with just a raw frame. Now these the tanks I have are ones that came off of Amazon. These tanks right here, after they were shipped to me, were $153 or something. Okay, I don't remember right off. But these tanks are brand new, never been opened. They're still sealed. They're good and clean tanks. That's what I want. All right, and you might wonder why didn't you just go with one tank up underneath it? Well, the problem is with one tank, I couldn't maximize that space that I had underneath the Cherokee rear right there. Couldn't maximize it. I had a lot of extra room all the way around it and all that. With every dimension I found, either it was too deep, too narrow, too long, whatever. But with these two, I was able to use them. Another thing is, if one of these gets ruptured, so the stick goes in the bottom, whatever happens to it, I still got one I can fall back on. Okay, so that's it. If I wanted to have one for some other purpose and one just for water, whatever, I got it. Okay, so I got these two tanks. They maximize the space. That's why I went with these. And I made my cradle right here. Basically, what I'm going to wind up doing is taking some old discarded old tin, cut me out some little old thin panels just to drop in there, just so nothing will stab up through the bottom. But for now, I'm not worried about that. Put these in here. Got them good and tight in there. Take this one in here. And basically, this is the rear here. Where I was talking about that collar coming through, that's the other half of that collar right there. That's kind of what one half of it looks like right there. And I'll probably throw some pictures in there to show you. What I had to do is open up that collar, make plenty of clearance here so that any of these lines can run through. If I want to feed up to my water field and water comes down and fills my tank, you know, need that for an access, then I've got it. I've got plenty of room there. Feed all these hoses. If I need to go up through here, feed it up through here to go to my kitchenette. That's what we'll do. All right. Next step, I'll show you what it looks like once it's installed. All right. This in here. All right. All right. So what I got is regular old nylon lock nuts, 3/8 right there. 8 of them to secure this right in place. And as you can see right here, I've got plenty of access to all my water ports right here. If I need to feed them up through the floorboard anywhere, I can. If I need to feed them through my little collar here, see, I can, because I opened it up. It was very short. So now it's open right here. I can feed that hose right in here. I can fill my tanks that way, and my supply lines will run right up through there. You can also see that with my rear battery box, you see how much more clearance I have here and how the clearance would be in case of sticks, limbs, or anything like that. So that really came in handy right there. These tanks right here, basically total up to about 23 gallons of water. So with 23 gallons of water right there, you know, well, that's really gonna do me good for a weekend or two, you know. So that's what we're up to right there. Got this all made up. So on the next video and on, we're gonna be doing probably, I'm thinking my little divider wall in between my kitchenette, my sleeping area. I'll probably be doing that next. So just stay tuned with us. Please like and subscribe to our channel. Thank you.